Hello and welcome to Haddonfield. I'm Nick Lathan.
And I'm Peyton Lynch.
And we're here to talk about the very first Halloween film. And to talk about it with us is, I don't know why I'm getting sultry, just because just looking at you. I'm just thinking.
Like late night jazz radio DJ.
This is a late night podcast, so you better be, listen, it better be.
If it's light outside, you turn this off and you wait.
And if it's too late, if you hear birds chirping, you better go back in time or wait 12 hours or something.
Wait again.
Till the next dusk.
But you better have just finished Halloween, and it better be like 2 a.m. and you're listening to this podcast. Anyway, Rich Camillucci's here with us. Hello, Rich.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for agreeing.
Being here.
So I'm going to ask you a question we're going to ask every guest on this podcast. When did you become a Halloween fan?
I first was exposed to the Halloween franchise sometime in high school during one of those infamous AMC marathons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it was just a Saturday, you wake up around like 10:30, you start flipping through channels, and it's like, oh, is this that? What movie is this? But it looks cool. Mm-hmm. And then you just start watching it, and it's like, boom, Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. You get very angry because it's like, well, is Michael Myers going to bust in at the end? I was waiting for him that entire movie because there was no context given.
I feel like everybody did that.
They didn't, during commercial break, no one popped in to just be like, hey, just heads up. They were trying something different.
They should have had a horror host.
Something, yeah. Give me like a Svengoolie or something.
They should have done like a TCM where it's like they tell you beforehand like what the movie's going to be like.
Robert Osborne come in. Rest in peace, Robert Osborne. I'm Robert Osborne. We're going to talk about Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Sorry, everybody.
They were going for something. Yeah. And then, yeah.
They should have called it Halloween 3 Gone Fishing. So that you knew
Written by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
You just Halloween 3 is the movie Gone Fishing.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that Gone Fishing was a movie.
Yeah, it stars Danny Glover and Joe Pesci. Was written by J.J. Abrams.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Good old J.J. What's the mystery box of that movie? Of Gone Fishing? Is it the lottery number?
No, it's a tackle box.
Uh-oh. The only thing I remember about that movie is there was a lottery number that Danny Glover or Joe Pesci kept using in the lottery, and Joe Pesci didn't have a family. Very sad movie. Anyway, welcome to Gone Fishing.
But yeah, and then like by the time the marathon reaches like 9:30 at night, you're like, Paul fucking Rudd?
Yeah.
Hell yes.
By the way, he still looks the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
That was his first movie, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Paul Rudd, twist, is Michael Myers.
He's
Because they both just had the same dexterity as they had
4 years younger
in
than
1995.
He's 4 years younger than my mom.
Michael Myers?
No, Paul Rudd.
Oh, okay.
What? When was Michael Myers born? No, he's much older than my mom because the beginning of the movie it's like 1963.
Yeah, 63, and he's what, 6
and my
years
mom's
old?
born in 65.
We're going to get into this later on in the movie, but there's some discrepancies when it comes to his age in this movie. But first,
in the first movie?
Yeah. But first, I'm going to do. So I've been watching. I've been strolling down memory lane and been thinking about Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs. It came on. Did y'all ever watch that?
No. You've been constantly referencing this, and I have no context for you.
So yeah, TNT. Like when I was this kid, like TNT. I think it was Friday or Saturday nights. They would show like a regular movie they would do on TNT. This is back before they knew drama, and.
This is when they knew nothing.
Yeah. This is when they knew horror. So when they would show...
They're still learning, really, is what they were doing.
Yeah.
What does TNT stand for?
Turner Network Television?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
okay. Something boring.
What is TBS's Turner Broadcasting Station System or something like that?
Yeah.
So
with Dinner and a Movie, that's what I would watch.
I would watch Dinner. Yeah.
Down.
You would because Dinner and a Movie came on before Monster Vision.
Oh, I forgot about Dinner and a Movie.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So I'm getting somewhere with this listener, but so I watched Dinner and a Movie, and then switch over to TNT for Monster Vision. And Monster Vision, it was just Joe Bob Briggs as a horror host, just introducing genre films.
Mm-hmm. Basically, the Robert Osborne of TNT.
Yeah, but he's a redneck from Texas. So
that's fitting. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, for a horror movie, yeah.
For TNT.
Yeah. back before the new drama. So, yeah, he does these drive-in totals. So I'm going to do my best Joe Bob Briggs impression and do the drive-in totals. Y'all ready?
Uh-huh.
So for Halloween, we've got 5 dead bodies, 2 dead dogs and or skunk, 1 unlicensed killer, multiple asshole and or deaf neighbors, interior redecorating with a tombstone, knife stabbing, couch stabbing, multiple window smashings, pumpkin smashing, multiple potted plant smashings, tombstone stealing, dog choking, shish kebabbing, phone cord strangling, arm slashing, knitting needle foo, wire hanger foo, 4 stars. Joe Bob says, check it out.
Is that how he would do it?
Yeah, for sure.
So he would basically go like into mid-spiel into a Ric Flair promo. The couch slashing, knitting needles stabbing. Woo!
Hey,
Dog strangling, son of a gun.
straight up, when I wrote all those out, I wrote this quote down.
Did you put woos in there?
No, this is what I wrote.
Space Mountain reference?
Michael Myers, the stabbing, babysitter grabbing, station wagon riding, never dying, tombstone stealing, smashing and slashing son of a gun.
That's a quote. You didn't write that, or you wrote it?
I wrote that, but I'd adapted a Ric Flair quote.
Nick wrote that, so no one else take
Ric Flair, you can take that. Avid listener, Ric Flair.
Okay, all right, hold on. The 4 horsemen of horror movie slashers.
Oh, it's Michael Myers,
Jason Voorhees,
Freddy
Freddy
Krueger,
Krueger. Who's the fourth?
Leatherface, I would say.
Oh, well,
So,
I've never seen the whole series.
yeah.
I've
Well,
only seen
what
the
about?
first one.
Okay, here's what I would do. I would say, all right, Michael Myers is the Ric Flair. Jason Voorhees is the Arn Anderson.
I don't know any of these.
I don't know. I'm sorry about this, but I have to get this. I have to purge
do
this
it.
from my system.
Listen, we're here to help.
Was it Freddy Krueger? Is the depending on the era, Tully Blanchard, and I would say actually no. The Scream Killer is Tully Blanchard. Then I go
Ghostface.
Yeah.
and then I go Freddy Krueger as Ole Anderson, and then their J.J. Dillon is actually no. Fuck the promo. Freddy Krueger's the promo. He's J.J. Dillon. And Leatherface is Ole Anderson. I'm done. We can talk about literally everything else now.
So who are these 4 horsemen of the horror apocalypse?
You gonna make me repeat it?
I just want the name. Like, so it's. You don't have to say who they are. So it's Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Ghostface.
Fuck me.
Yes.
Ghostface, Freddy Krueger, and then. Oh, no.
Honorable mention.
Leatherface, and then Freddy Krueger.
Is that 4?
That's 5, I think.
It's 5, but the 4 horsemen had J.J. Dillon, who was
Oh,
their
okay. Yeah, that's right.
manager.
Okay.
Oh, I see. And then Pinhead could be like a groupie.
Pinhead is Fifi.
And then Chucky is the mascot. I know. I don't know.
Chucky did have an appearance on a WCW Nitro at one point.
That
Got
makes
a promo
sense.
against Rick Steiner.
That makes sense. Yeah, Chucky, I feel like whenever I see the Insane Clown Posse logo, that's the one with the knife, the guy with the knife
Hatchet
running.
Man.
Yeah, it's Chucky. I think
is
Chucky
it?
every time. Anyway, it's a Halloween podcast. So let's get into the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
So, doing what Peyton does.
Yeah, you're gonna be me in the show. If you listen to Queer Movie Night, Nick's gonna be me, right? I'm the one that usually does the plot, and then Deborah shouts.
And I'm just going to smack my lips.
Oh, that's rude.
I would say I'll edit this out, but I won't. So the opening credits,
Iconic.
they're really good.
And the music starts right away. So can you, I want to see this on screen because I just imagining hearing that in the movie theater, just the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I saw it.
So good.
I saw it at AMC in like 2014 or something like that. Yeah, 2014 was a big Halloween year for me, just because they did so much. I went to like a Universal haunted house that year. Like they played
Halloween Horror Nights,
Yeah.
the nation's premier Halloween event.
It's so good. I'll probably post like pictures and video from on the Instagram account of me like when I went there. It's so freaking cool. But the AMC played Halloween, and like some friends of mine never seen it before, and that was a fun experience just because A, they didn't like horror movies, and B, they'd never seen that movie before. It was so fun. But yeah, seeing it on the big screen is insane.
I bet it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that Halloween, like when I first moved to Chicago, that pumpkin in the opening credits, that like we all bought jack-o'-lanterns, and I was like, oh, I'm making the opening credits pumpkin.
Yeah.
Things I wrote about the opening credits were like, I'm just thinking about Evil Dead and Halloween because there's in both movies there's characters named Annie and Linda. Thought that was interesting.
Well, I mean, they're all movies that give nods to previous movies.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Did
nods.
this come first or Evil Dead?
Evil Dead came out in 81.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was first.
And then, I mean, this movie gives like a billion nods to Psycho as well.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
as
for
far as
sure.
like
And other
character
movies.
names and stuff like that. And yeah, plenty of other movies.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about just horror movies in general is how like shamelessly they will just like put on Front Street nods to other like horror movies.
Yeah.
And John Carpenter especially likes to do nods to his friends, which I think is interesting because I think Sheriff Lee Brackett may be somebody. I think Lee Brackett may have been a teacher somewhere.
He was Lee Brackett, I think, was like another screenwriter.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
Michael Myers was like a good friend of his.
Really?
Yeah. And apparently he was like one of the sweetest guys he knew. And he was like, Michael Myers was like, why did you name him after me?
That's
and he
funny.
was like, do you really think I'm evil? And John Carpenter was like, no. It was supposed to be like a nice thing.
Yeah, and then let's see. Wallace was the name of the little girl. What's her name again?
Who? Lindsay?
Lindsay. Yeah, her last name is Wallace, and then the boy's name is Tommy Wallace.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who was the
No, they're
production
not.
designer?
No, it's Tommy something else. They're not siblings.
No, I'm saying like his
take
first
the-
name's Tommy,
yeah.
and
Tommy
her last
Doyle,
name's
yeah.
Wallace. Yeah, Tommy Doyle, who is played by Paul Rudd in a later film.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's supposed to be. Man, I gotta go
comes
rewatch all
together.
these.
But yeah, and another thing about just looking at the credits, Dean Cundy, who, good God, awesome director of photography. He did Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Halloween as well. Like all the 80s John Carpenter movies were done by Dean Cundy.
He's good.
Yeah. What else did he do? Yeah, Halloween, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, and like
Not too shabby.
yeah, he's got a pretty awesome
He worked.
career. Yeah. Oh, that man worked. Hey, Dean Cundy, he worked.
Let me tell you something about Dean Cundy. Dean Cundy, a working man of a DP.
Dean Cundy, I tell you what, DP, that guy, best DP.
How many minutes have we spent on the credits so far?
We're almost 14 minutes in.
Something I read somewhere, I did a lot of just real bad internet, like just half-ass bullshit research. And one of the things I saw was that Carpenter's original concept for the opening credits was like just like filming along a sidewalk and just like filming the pavement of a sidewalk, and then it like leads up to like the mask just on the ground, and then just like gets picked up or
Interesting.
something.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, but
But money.
basically it's like what it kind of came down to.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with him today, and he was talking about, because it's like it's always John Carpenter's Halloween, John Carpenter's The Fog, John Carpenter's
Yeah.
Escape from New York.
I was wondering about that when I was watching it. I was like, well, he and Deborah Hill wrote the script. But then it was like, her name came up just as big afterwards. It was like produced by Deborah Hill.
Yeah, it was
So
a
I like,
Deborah
I guess
Hill
that's
production.
She
okay.
did a lot of work on this movie.
Oh,
yeah.
She wrote like a lot of, like most of the dialogue.
From what I
Because-
read, she wrote like basically all the female dialogue.
Yeah.
All the women dialogue, Deborah Hill wrote, and all like the
all the
diatribes that Loomis had.
Yeah, all
was
the
Carpenter.
Loomis
That
dialogue.
makes sense.
All the Loomis dialogue Carpenter wrote.
But a deal he had with the producers was, he was like, yeah, they approached him about making the Babysitter Murders. That's what they're originally
Yes.
going to call it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'll do the movie, but my name has to be above the credits or above the title. And I have to have like Final Cut and everything. And he got all that stuff. The only thing...
They had Final Cut back then?
yeah.
The software?
I think he was using Adobe Premiere Pro. He had Adobe Premiere Pro. He was using Avid. I could go on. But,
Really? Name me 5 more
Oh
additional.
my God.
oh my God, you got Sony Vegas.
Okay.
You got...
Are we writing this already?
You got iMovie.
Of course.
You got
Windows Movie Maker.
Windows Movie Maker.
That's probably what he used for this. It was in 78.
Yeah, he got Windows Movie Maker. He animated this film on MS Paint.
I love the Star Wipes he used.
Yeah, oh yeah. Star Wars.
Oh my God. That's got to be a thing, right? Re-editing movies as if they were in Windows Movie Maker.
Well, Star Wars always does like a white.
Sure. So coming out of the credits,
So coming out of the credits, we go into Michael's point of view.
because there's only 3 cuts in that entire opening sequence.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it starts
And
immediately in
it's
his point of view.
Haddonfield, Illinois, 1963.
Good old Haddonfield, man.
Halloween.
Yeah, I found out it's in Livingston County, Illinois, which is like central Illinois. So
Oh,
they're
wait,
like,
it is a real town?
no.
No.
They just made it. That's
But
like,
like if they had to plot it on a map,
Oh,
if they had
then
to
that
drop
would
a
be
pin
somewhere, yeah.
on this movie, it'd be in central Illinois.
a central Midwest. So yeah, something I noticed right away during the whole POV shot was the pumpkin on the front porch, obviously made of plastic.
Oh,
Well,
is it?
so that
I
was the
didn't know
thing. They had a hard time with the pumpkins because they shot this in the spring.
Yeah.
And there's just no pumpkins in the
Yeah,
spring.
they had fake leaves too.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
there's no leaves.
They had to like paint the leaves.
Yeah.
I love that you said you did little research and yet you're
I did a lot of bad research, is what I did. I
You
did
read
a
the
lot of
whole Wikipedia page.
yeah. I did not.
you went through the whole
I did not
Halloween
cross-reference
Wikia.
any sources. That's what I'm
All
saying.
of this is rumor.
I started out as a journalism major, so my standards for bad research are pretty high.
Me, I just watched a bunch of John Carpenter interviews. That's all I did.
So he's like scoping out.
I just watched the behind the scenes on the DVD. That's all I did.
I have the 35th anniversary Blu-ray and has a. I know listener, we're just gonna go off on tangents, and I hope you don't give a shit. So on the Blu-ray, they have it's like a behind the scenes. It was shot by Jamie Lee Curtis's brother-in-law,
Okay.
and it's just they're going on tour, like
Oh, that sounds
like
fun.
autographing, like going to conventions and stuff like that. I didn't finish it because I had to go somewhere.
Because it was 35 minutes of just autographs.
It was it's like an hour. It's like an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
It's like feature length. Yeah.
It's a documentary.
Did Nick
basically.
Nolte just show up? So, yeah, we're going to like Michael's POV as he sees, he's seeing
His sister and her boyfriend through the window of the house.
Judith and Judith's boyfriend. He has no name.
Yeah, he doesn't have a name.
But
And they're like, "Where's Michael?" And she's like, "He's somewhere." This was like the last time I watched it was like the first time I actually heard what their dialogue was.
yeah, I
through
never.
the window.
He's somewhere.
He's like, "Isn't your brother here somewhere?" And she's like, "Michael's somewhere. I don't know."
This
That's why she gets stabbed.
this entire
He's like, "She was supposed to be watching me."
When you're not watching me, I'm watching you.
God, it's so good. Yeah, they go upstairs, and the funniest.
And they have sex for like 2 seconds.
It's 1 minute and 6 seconds pass.
Yeah.
For them to like assuming once they get upstairs,
This is-
to
this
take
is-
their clothes
Take
off.
their clothes off.
This is
have-
Do it. Finish.
This is how I timed it. Lights go off. Timer starts.
Sure.
Doo-doo-doo.
Goes around. Picks up a knife. She has
In the kitchen.
Deborah Hill's arm.
Yeah, Deborah
Yep.
Hill's arm.
Who we
Yeah.
find out she's a very tall child, by the way. And he's already fully dressed. So it was less.
He's
than,
like putting his
back
shirt on.
Yeah, when he's
on
coming down
the
the stairs.
stairs. Yeah,
it had to be less than a minute.
yeah.
No, it's 1 minute and 6 seconds.
I timed it. It was 1 minute 10 seconds.
Okay. Let's have a.
I'm giving my boy some credit. Okay.
They were ready. They were ready. He was
Those
like
last 4
he was like
seconds that
about
really helped get
he
the
was
job
about
done.
to come before they got upstairs.
Baby, you know I can't bust on a ground floor.
I think he just asked where Michael was just to calm himself down. It's like, where's Michael? That'll give me that extra 4 seconds I
Baseball
need.
not working. Your little brother. Where's your little brother?
Oh my god.
Judas' boyfriend.
He's somewhere.
He's somewhere.
Oh, it's so hot that he's not. That you don't even know.
I was texting my buddy Corey about this, and
Also, why does he pick up the mask? Does he put it on? The
He
boyfriend?
he's like scaring or like
Yeah.
being funny with
Yeah.
Judith.
Okay.
But yeah, I was texting my friend Corey about this. I was like, dude, I timed, because we always joked about how long it lasted. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I timed it. And he was like, man, it's like, what did he say? He's like, 3 pump chump.
One pump chump, more like.
I mean, basically, yeah.
God. Bet you didn't know we were going to talk about this on the podcast, listener.
These are the important things.
Well, this movie's very about sex. It's a lot
And
about sex.
also, this podcast is about the nuance.
Yeah.
And the minutia.
Of the Halloween movie franchise.
Exactly.
So yeah, the I would say Steadicam, but it's not. It's Panaglide, which was, I guess, a cheaper version of Steadicam.
It was
Well, I think
new.
it was-
It was
yeah.
new at
Yeah.
the time that
I think it was
they did
the first movie.
This is
They
the
said
first,
something
yeah.
about that in the behind the scenes, that it was like a new thing.
Yeah, which that's really cool because it has the whole floating. Oh my god! If I had my hands on a Steadicam, I'll tell you what.
You can get these steady hands on a steady cams. And I'll eat some steady hams.
Can you keep going?
The steady Jim and Pam's.
God damn it!
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, but yeah, going through that whole tracking long take of him going through that. It's not a long shot; it's a long take. Anyway, I hate when people call him a long shot. A long
boy.
shot is it's a type of shot. It's like a close up.
That's far away.
You're getting your
shot?
film
Yeah, it's
dissertation right here. You didn't even expect
Oh, and then
this
it
shit.
zooms out, like at the end of the scene.
Yeah. So a long shot is just a shot that's just very far away. But a long take is just a take that lasts
That
for a very
lasts
long
a long
time.
time.
But a lot of people call a long take a long shot. Not the same thing.
There you
This
go.
has been Schooling with Nick. Film Schooling with Nick. So,
Can't wait to hear the difference between hot takes and hot shots.
listen, Hot Shots Part Does. I got a hot take about Hot Tot. Hot Shots?
Hot tots.
I got some
Got
Hot
a hot
Tots.
take
I can
about
talk about
hot
some hot
tots.
tots.
Oh, I can talk. Listen, let's go to Sonic right now and get some Hot Tots. So, hot take about Hot Shots. Hot Shots Part Deux.
Oh,
is
you're actually
better.
going to have one.
Hot Shots Part Deux is better because it got Ryan Stiles.
Colin Mockery.
This was on whose line is it anyway?
No, in the sequel to
Hall.
Hot Shots Part Deux, Ryan Stiles is in it. I think he's in the first one too.
I
don't.
know.
That's a movie. I've never seen it.
Yeah, we're gonna do. That's the next podcast we're gonna do
Okay.
after this one. We're gonna do hot takes on Hot Shots.
What were you gonna say about the opening scene of this movie?
So the long take. So the long take, you can see where like they bump the furniture as they're
Yes,
doing the take and
yeah.
stuff like that, which I
I
find
think there's
funny.
a part where you can see the shadow of the camera.
You
too.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Rich, you okay?
I was just going to say, I am not going to interrupt for the rest of the synopsis. Because there's so much I want to get to talking about.
Dude, we're 23 minutes in and we're not
It's
even
too
at the
late.
first scene.
It's too late.
So, I'm sorry, listener. So, yeah, go through and like he ends up killing Judith. Mm-hmm. And the funniest part about that is like he has to look and see his.
I thought about that the last time I watched it too. I was like, why is he not looking at himself stab her? He's like looking at himself wield the knife.
He's having a moment. He's like, "Look what I am doing."
Yeah.
And then he looks back down and like, oh, there's blood there now.
Yeah. And then he goes outside, and then his
parents
his
pull
parents, which look at his mom next time you watch the movie. She's
I
just
have.
like,
Yeah. She's like,
Michael.
she puts her hands in her coat jacket.
Well, I mean, they don't really know what happened
Yeah, they
yet.
don't know what happened. Yeah.
But also,
And they also stand there for a long ass time while the camera zooms away. It's not even a freeze.
there's another universe in which Michael Myers does not kill his sister Judith, but she finished having sex with her boyfriend just in time for her parents to get home. Mm-hmm. Like that, if they were just having a regular night of hanky panky, like they crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like kudos to them.
She
But
was
then, of
like,
course,
she was like, my parents are getting home exactly at 8:30.
that's why I had to take it.
We have a minute and 10 seconds.
I guess it was playing.
Yeah. Honestly, I take back everything I said earlier.
You sure he asked where Michael was? You sure he didn't say
Yeah,
how much
he
time
did.
do we have?
Yeah.
And she said a minute and 10 seconds.
Minute and 10 seconds.
I know how punctual your parents are.
No, he's like, where's Michael? And she's like, he's somewhere. Let's go upstairs. And she's like, okay.
There's
The Myerses are famously punctual.
There's a family comedy version of this where Judith just lost Michael Myers and her parents are pissed. You're supposed to watch your brother.
It's like Home Alone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
All right, so then
Lost
we
in
jump
Haddonfield.
into the future, right?
We
Or
go
into
to-
the present, I guess.
Yes, we go to October 30th, 1978.
In Smith's Grove.
Grove.
Is that a real town or no?
No.
Not real, but it's a real place in Kentucky. I drew this down, wrote this down. Smith Grove, not real, but is in Kentucky. John Carpenter grew up in Bowling Green, which is why it's called the Bowling Green Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah, the band that plays the music.
Yeah, and then Haddonfield's not real, but it is in New Jersey, and that's where Deborah Hill's from.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. There you go.
So yeah,
it all comes together.
So this thing immediately cracks me up because, first of all, the nurse is wearing a nurse's cape, which is something you never see anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, what was the deal with the nurse's cape?
Well, nurses
Well, I
need
think
to keep
in
their
the
shoulders clean.
you mean like in real life or in the movies, you never see the nurse.
Like you would see in like old like World War II footage, you see like
I feel like in 1970s movies
Well,
they have nurses wear their capes.
Also,
I think they wanted to show you that she was a nurse without having any dialogue about it.
well, she was wearing the hat and the.
That's true.
well, okay. This movie cost $300,000 to make.
Most of it was spent on that cape.
Everyone bought their own costumes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know how the girls brought their own clothes.
Yeah,
Like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, Jamie
like
Lee Curtis bought her stuff at
teenager.
like JCPenney for $100.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like that nurse went to a costume shop and said, "Give me a nurse's costume."
Here you go. Here's one from 1943.
Yeah, exactly. Here's one that looks like it's from a cartoon. The station wagon was a rental.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They went to like Hertz or whatever the fuck and just like rented what looked like the most state issued vehicle they could find. They put like the wire like the mesh divider, and then slapped the seal of the state of Illinois on it. And like, this is we're gonna use this for 65% to 70% of the movie.
Now, Rich, you wrote a paper in this movie, didn't you? Is that why you know so much? Oh, I barely did any research. Well, I don't know.
I did bad research.
Comes on and knows a lot more than we do. I didn't know that.
Did they say her name in the movie, or it comes up in the sequel? Because she has like a full name, but I don't remember them
I think it
saying
might
her
come
by
up.
name.
All I know is that I think this might have been like when I came in, when I first saw the movie like on
TV.
on AMC.
AMCV?
Like, AMCV.
Hey, what? Can I see your AMCV? Real quick. You ever...
Yeah, do you need my list of TNT references?
I need your TNT references. I need your cover letter as well.
The shot when they're driving up and they see all of the mental patients just
It's
like
so
out in the
scary.
field.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's so scary.
It feels like a shot from Night of the Living Dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
it does. It looks a lot like that, actually. All the white bodies.
Also, so like after they stop and they're like trying to figure out what the hell's going on and they get out of the car.
Yeah,
and pouring down
Dr.
rain.
Loomis goes up to the
Yeah.
gate. Yeah.
I don't think I realized for at least like my first 3 viewings of this movie in my life that was Michael Myers that like jumps on top of the station wagon.
The nurse's name is Marion.
Yeah, Marion Chambers is her name.
Nurse Chambers.
Yep.
See, yeah, Dr. Loomis during this
by
whole
Nancy
thing really
Stevens.
cracks me up. Like the whole "go on, wolf." That really cracks me up. He's just on edge the entire,
Yeah.
which he should be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's the only one that realizes what's happening.
But to the audience, like you think he's like overreacting.
Yeah.
Because like he keeps calling Michael it, like he won't say that he's a person. And,
Yeah.
Because he's seen.
Yeah. He
He has
knows.
his whole speech bats later in the movie.
He's the only one that understands how evil Michael really is.
Whenever Michael's on top of the car and he like breaks the glass, it really cracks me up because there's like a horseshoe looking thing on
a
his
wrench.
palm,
To
They
break
painted
the-
a wrench flesh color.
and like comes in and breaks it, and that
Oh,
always
I
cracked me
didn't catch
up.
that. There is like a weird cut, like during that window breaking scene. It's like you see his hand and then it cuts and then the hand breaks the window.
Maybe maximize not seeing that wrench.
Maybe.
Editing.
Is the window... The windows are either down or...
So her window is down and he like puts his hand in and starts choking her.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the movie...
The window's down.
Okay.
Because I went back, I
For the
thought the
whole
same
rest of
thing.
the
It
movie?
just dawned on me.
The rest of the movie, the window is down. I
Okay.
looked.
Because he knows how to drive a car, but he doesn't know how to put the window up.
Jumps in that motherfucking car.
Pulls right
Like,
away.
Yeah. He starts Tokyo drifting around, does
that was-
donuts around them before he peels out.
He doesn't do donuts.
No, but like he might as well have. He is a better driver than half of the drivers in movie history.
Well, you know what happened in that hospital? They had a stockpile of Hal Needham movies. So he's just watching Hooper. He's watching Smokey the Bandit. He's watching all these movies, and he's like, he's driving like Burt Reynolds.
That scene where Loomis is like yelling at the director of the warden.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know how he learned how to drive. I guess
he was doing very well last night.
Cut to.
He was like, he must have been taking
burning
classes.
all of those movies.
But he has the film reels, like he has.
They're
this
all
is
like
back before VHS, so he has like just a bunch of film reels of like, it's like, I better burn Smokey the Bandit. That's the only movie the inmates were allowed to watch was Smokey the Bandit.
This is harmless, right?
We could watch a man just try to truck some Coors east of the Mississippi, and then have Jackie Gleason chase him. That's harmless.
It's harmless. What could come of this? Nothing, I say.
Good to Michael. Michael, like the only reason he's wearing that mask is he couldn't find a fucking bandit costume. Could you imagine if he
was growing out a mustache all these years,
but he couldn't grow it. Like he was trying to find a fake mustache the whole time. I want to see that version, the remake of which, I'm gonna do another remake.
All right, Cannonball Run with slasher movie killers.
Let's go down the list.
No, please, no.
Thank you, Peyton, for keeping us on track.
So at this point, the evil is gone. He's like, the evil is gone.
Yeah, he says the evil is gone.
Which is awesome. That's an awesome quote. Then we cut to the next day, which is Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween, Haddonfield. Back to Haddonfield.
This is Halloween.
And we meet
is Halloween.
Laurie, this is when like my favorite theme of the movie plays.
Laurie's theme?
Yeah. I love that theme.
Yeah, this is when Laurie goes to school. She meets Tommy, drops off the Myers key, and then Michael
And we
sees it
see
for the
her
first
dad
time.
very briefly.
Yeah.
She's like, drop the key off at the... I just caught that too. I didn't realize we saw her dad in the first movie.
Yeah. Hey, can you drop off this key at the Myers house? That creepy old place?
The creepy old
Because he's a coward that doesn't want to do it himself.
Yeah.
That's your job, dude.
He was on his way to work.
Yeah,
he was
you're
getting in the car.
Yeah. That's part of your work, my dude.
Tommy,
might have been-
and Tommy's like, are you coming over to babysit tonight?
Yeah.
And
So this movie borrows and pays homage to and nods a lot to other movies. Is this the first movie to do the shot where your main character is in class, looks out the window, sees the killer,
Has to be.
back? Has to be, right?
It has to be.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's in every other movie. It's been in every single movie, regardless of genre, since then.
Yeah.
Since the last episode, have you watched It Follows?
No, I haven't.
Have you
in
seen
that
it?
I have
follows?
seen it.
Yeah, It Follows borrows a lot from this movie.
It follows borrows a lot from every movie.
Yeah. But, like, just think about that, because there's, like, stuff like that in It Follows as well. I need to rewatch It Follows.
I'm good.
And we
I like
see
it a lot.
Michael. is
Everyone
back-
else does. I know I'm in the minority on that one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We see Michael's back in the Myers house because he sees her drop off the key.
Mm-hmm. Which, that's a creepy shot of, like, him entering.
Yeah.
And then she's singing,
She's singing. She sings. Is it?
I Wish I Had You
is it
All
The
Alone?
Reaper. Yeah.
Well, no.
Sings.
Don't Fear the Reapers when they're in the car later
Oh.
on.
Smoking
She
that
sings. I
devil's
wish I
lettuce."
had you all alone, just the two of us, and he
Yeah.
like comes up behind her.
That's so creepy.
It's so creepy. She talks a lot to herself.
Every single
Hey,
shot.
don't we all?
I do all the time.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm an only child, so I don't know if that's...
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
that
do
is.
too.
Okay.
It's just like a nice little personality quirk that you see from her. She talks a lot to herself in the
I
movie.
thought you were talking about, like, I talk to myself all the time. It's a nice personality quirk.
It's a nice personality quirk. People like it.
It's charming.
I like it the part where she's looking out the window because she's like not paying attention, but then when the teacher calls on her, she knows the exact right answer.
Oh, what's the history of fate?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all talking about fate. Yeah,
She's like, oh, yeah, and she knows immediately. Yeah, that always cracked me
and the
up.
teacher's like, "That's correct."
What was it? Yeah, Loomis being pissed about how Michael got away.
Yeah, he's like, "Who taught him how to drive?"
Yeah, we've already touched on that. I'm just
Yeah.
going through my notes.
I feel like they like had to put that in the movie because they were like, we know people are going to be like, "How did he know how to drive?"
The funniest part about that...
Well, they
that
don't
I-
answer it, but...
Yeah, they don't answer it, but they do bring it up.
Funniest part about that to me was the doctor was like, it's 150 miles to Haddonfield. So you know Michael
got-
had to stop and get gas.
They got half a pack of cigarettes. Or no, a full tank of gas, half pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and he was wearing a mask. Hit it.
So she sees him outside. So then after that, that's when the bullies pick on Tommy at school.
Yeah, the boogeyman will get you.
The boogeyman will get you, yeah.
Ugh.
And then they make him
Tommy
drop
was
his...
carrying a pumpkin?
Very
they
large
make him
pumpkin.
drop it, yeah, and he breaks it.
Did he win it from school?
That's what I'm wondering, because he
Are they
wasn't going.
selling
He wasn't going to school with the
Yeah.
pumpkin.
PTA was like
Maybe they had a sale.
Junior Academy
Maybe
selling
they
pumpkins?
sold pumpkins, yeah.
Did any of y'all in elementary school? Your school have a little store, like a student shop?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Okay.
They sell erasers that break easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that don't work at all.
Yeah. They're always shaped like basketballs and baseballs.
Yep. Or stars.
No.
Oh yeah, those erasers were awful.
So yeah, these bunch of assholes. They pick on Tommy, make him drop
And
his pumpkin.
the main bully is named Richie.
Yeah, there's Richie and Lonnie. I don't know the third guy.
Yeah. Richie's the one that runs into Michael, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a very creepy moment.
Yeah.
It's always creepy
Because he
because
just grabs him. He
grabs
by
him.
both shoulders.
Yeah.
I think if a kid were to run into me, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
As long as
So he doesn't fall down.
yeah, and I would also have the music queued up where it would just play that sting. It's so funny.
And then Michael follows Tommy around.
Yeah, driving the car slow and it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think I was trying to follow this. I was like, so he sees Lori and Tommy at the house. So then that must be why he follows Tommy
Yeah.
after school to see where he's going to go
It's so
to lead
cre-
him to Lori, I guess.
It's so creepy though.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
And how does Tommy not notice that there's a very slow car driven by a man in a white mask?
Yeah. He doesn't have the mask yet.
I thought he already had the mask.
The hardware store hasn't been broken into because that's when Annie and Lori drive by, and
And the
we
alarm's
and we
going
figure
off.
out that the policeman is Annie's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So he got.
so
the,
he doesn't have the mask yet, which is why we haven't seen his head at all.
I was gonna say because we didn't. So he got the mask at the hardware store. I've never picked up on that before.
Why they're selling Halloween masks at the hardware store?
Yeah,
I do not know.
they see. Well, because I don't think they had Halloween stores back then. So they just
They have
sold
department stores and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
maybe. Anyway, that's when they run into Annie's dad, and Annie's dad's like, "Yeah, someone broke into the hardware store. They stole a Halloween mask, a piece of rope, and some knives."
yeah. And before that though.
Yeah, way before that. Yeah.
Way before that, after another question I have written down was, does Michael have driving music? Like when he's in his car?
I don't think so. I think he drives in silence because you're in the car. I think when
Yeah.
you see him drive by Tommy.
But maybe they couldn't clear the music that he wanted to.
What'd you think he was listening to?
Slow Ride by
Yeah.
Foghat.
Oh, yeah, it had to be. Because he's got the slow walk.
Yeah. Slow
Speed
walk.
kills.
So stupid.
If there's one thing I hate, it's a man with a car with no sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before that scene, we cut to
There was with Loomis was
Loomis on the side of the road.
yeah, and it's 73 miles to Haddonfield.
Yeah.
And he doesn't see the dead body. He doesn't stick around to find the dead body.
My
He
question.
doesn't need to. He knows there's a dead body in that bush. He doesn't need to. That's for all these other simpletons that don't understand what's going on to figure out and find.
The way the scene is blocked and shot and everything, I don't know, or and edited. I don't know if it's like he sees the truck and then pulls over and makes a phone call, or he makes a phone call and be like, "Oh, what is this? Like, what is this?"
Is that his truck? I thought. Oh, maybe not. No,
No, the
That's
truck belonged
truck
to
driver.
it was
guy.
Phelps. Yeah.
Which,
I feel like he must have. He probably pulled over to use the payphone. I think
like,
because he's calling the police in Haddonfield, and he's look out for Michael.
the thing I love the most about that scene
It is.
is you could
It is kind of conspicuous that the truck crashed right next to a telephone booth.
That's why I was asking that question.
Yes, convenient, sure. The thing that I do love the most about that scene is that scene is about accomplishing, it sets out to do one thing and accomplishes like three other things. Like it lets you know, like, oh yeah, in case you're curious, here's how he got his jumpsuit. But any other movie would have showed you the scene where he
where he killed the driver.
Yeah, he like makes it swerve
I
off
like
the
that
road,
too.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like
if this movie was made now, we would have seen that kill
Absolutely.
for sure. Yeah.
It's showing the least amount possible.
Yeah.
Without having to just tell.
I like off-screen death.
It's very economical.
Yeah, I've talked about it before. Like, does John Carpenter's Escape from New York? Snake Plissken, you don't know his backstory. Mm-hmm. You know he was in a mission called Black Light, and that's about it. He won 2 Purple Hearts, but other than that, you do not know Snake Plissken's past.
Right.
But if they do a remake of Escape from New York, you're going to know everything about
Yeah.
Snake Plissken, which I think is dumb.
Right. Yeah.
Just like a Joker origin
is,
story, but
the mystery is exciting.
Don't even get me started. And then we go to after school, and then we're introduced to PJ Soul's Linda. Totally.
She's a cheerleader, I think.
Totally.
Yeah, totally. Oh, she says totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Also,
I love
they're leaving.
Jamie has a great line too. Where, I forget what she says. She's like really facetious with Linda. I can't remember. It's not important.
Haddonfield couldn't be prouder.
Yeah.
Something. Say it louder.
Get louder. Yeah. The cheer.
And then they say it louder. But also, she's a cheerleader leaving cheer practice of the practice which we can hear in the background.
Yeah.
So she's usually like just bouncing
She's
early.
leaving early because she's about to hook up with
That's
Bob.
a good point. Who was apparently supposed to be Dennis Quaid?
They waited for Annie for 2 minutes. For 15 minutes.
They were still walking.
Yeah.
Like, they were walking.
No, they said we waited for you for 15 minutes.
Oh, you didn't.
That thing
And
like
Annie's
you tell
like,
your friends.
and they're like, you never showed up. And Annie's like, I did. I'm right here. I love Annie's my favorite. Annie by Nancy Kyes.
Nancy Loomis in the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to write down Loomis. Isn't that weird? But is that her real name? Nancy Kyes is her real name?
I think she got married and changed it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm led to believe.
Nice. And Lori forgets her books. And then this line that PJ has, it has to be improv. There's no way it was written, where she's like, I always forget my books. I forget my science book. I forget my English book. I forget my math book. I forget my chemistry book. You know, I just forget all my books. I don't really like books. Like...
The line that really makes me laugh is like, yeah, you just want a place to, and then she goes, shit. She goes, I already got a place to do that.
I already got a place for that. Yeah, Annie's so funny. She's so whip smart. And that's when
Yeah, Michael drives by.
Devon Graham, I think he's so cute.
He's driving a Illinois like state vehicle.
Yeah, like he's driving like a police car. Is that Devon Graham? I think he's so cute.
Yeah, the something I noticed throughout all these walking scenes is how much Pasadena looks like Chicago suburbs.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like if they didn't have the palm trees way in the background, you would think they actually shot it here.
Right.
Oh, I didn't notice the palm trees.
You know, the leaves they had to pick up afterwards because they shot it in the spring.
Oh, we have our palm fronds. Fronds? Palm fronds. I don't know. Spray paint them brown.
Let's see, and then after that we get to the hedge scene.
Yeah. Well, we find out that like, we figure out like the babysitting situation. So like,
Annie's babysitting Lindsay.
Annie's babysitting Lindsay, and she's supposed to be letting Linda come over with Bob or something,
Yeah.
but then Paul's been grounded, so like he's not.
He can't fly anymore?
No. He like his parents caught him like getting eggs ready to egg a house or something, so they're like, you can't leave the house. I don't know, it's the whole thing. Okay, yeah. Then you get to they drop Linda off, and then Lori sees Michael by the bushes.
Yeah, which the questions I always have was, how does he get around so fast? Michael, because like he's behind the hedge, and all of a sudden, like 10 seconds later, he's like gone. Did he run away?
Well, I think it's sort of hinted at that like there's some otherworldliness about Michael, because there's the next scene where she sees him behind the clothesline, and then he's instantly gone in a second, and she never even looked away.
Yeah. So creepy.
I mean, you're kind of hinting at like what people want to believe is actually behind what Michael Myers is. You know, I mean, we can get into a larger discussion later, or we can do it now. But
let's do it now.
Let's do it now. Is he infected by the legend of Sam Hain?
Oh my god.
That isn't brought up in this movie. I think it's the second movie where it comes up, right?
Yeah.
Well, in this movie, since it's like the first one, I think it's midichlorians.
I think it's sort of inferred that like there's some otherworldliness about him because like he can't really seem to die and like but I also think maybe it's playing with the idea of like there's an otherworldliness just to like the day of Halloween and like maybe like part of it is like maybe he wasn't really there and that was just like Laurie's seen him all day. I don't know.
The thing that I think attracted me to the series as a whole from this first movie is the idea of this being as a vessel for just, as Loomis would say, evil incarnate. Like, there is no
humanity
reason, there's no humanity. Like, the fact that I love what the mask is what it is because it's a blank canvas. You can project any of your own fears or, you know, like phobias or superstitions or insecurities onto that mask. Okay. And yeah, like the fact that it's just like it's more pure. It's the same way that I like the version of Night of the Living Dead where there is no real, there's plenty of speculation, but there is no real explanation given for why the dead are rising from the grave. You know, like it's just an evil thing that happened.
I'm going to stop you real quick. The walls of the 95th precinct are bleeding.
But also there's like in Night of the Living Dead and in this movie, there's still like a groundedness to like the reality of it because it's not just like some otherworldly evil. Like at the end, Michael does get unmasked.
Yeah.
And at the end of Night of the Living Dead, the people who come in to save them actually kill the hero. So
God, I haven't seen Night of the Living Dead in so long.
It's good.
Yeah.
It holds up.
I know it's good. What's another part about this? Oh yeah,
I love I just love the relationship with all the girls, like how they pick on each other, but like not in a mean way. Like you can tell they still care about each other.
Well, yeah, it's that
they have like very realistic to me.
That's the relationship that like you have with your friends. Is you can bust each other's balls.
But what I was going at earlier was like he's going so fast. He's whenever you don't see Michael, he's running.
Yeah,
and that's why he's always breathing so heavily. That's what I'm saying.
And then he has to walk really slow so he doesn't have to use his inhaler.
Yeah. Something I noticed about the walking.
And he's like, he wants to talk to you.
He's got his inhaler ready. The part about them walking home that I noticed is that Annie does not know how to roll up her sleeve. It just keeps falling down, and she keeps rolling it back up.
I didn't notice that. Yeah.
It's another.
She's got the most on point outfit out of all of them.
Annie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laurie's skirt/tights situation is awful until right, she changes before babysitting and her outfit's more on point after that.
Yeah, the babysitting outfit is very iconic.
Yeah.
Something I've noticed, when y'all trick-or-treated as kids, what time did you start trick-or-treating? Was it before nighttime?
I think we usually started like before it was dark, like around 5 or 6:30, and then like it would be dark by the time we were done.
We would never go that early. We were much more of like a nightfall type.
There's kids trick or treating like throughout the whole movie.
Yeah,
yeah, but
even when it's light time.
But you got to think it's like 3:30 or 4 whenever they're walking home.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of kids.
There's a bunch of kids trick or treating.
Yeah, like the first group of kids you see trick or treating, it is like it's mid to late afternoon.
Yeah,
and if there were kids at that, you're not even home from work yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nobody's there to give candy out.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
What are you doing? Or if you are home, like, fuck you, I'm not ready. I didn't even take the candy out the bag yet. I'm not going to take the candy out of the bag for you. I'm going to do that shit on my own time.
I don't have any candy because somebody stole it all from the hardware store.
That's where Laurie meets Annie's dad for the first time, or sees him.
Yeah.
For the first time we meet him, but we don't know it's Annie's dad yet.
Sheriff Brackett.
Uh-huh. She thinks she runs into him thinking it's Michael.
So creepy.
Creepy.
I actually did write that down. Clothesline shot. So creepy.
It is creepy. That's an iconic shot in the movie too.
Yeah. I don't have it here because I'm in the process of moving, but I have my Mondo Halloween soundtrack. And on the inside, it has, I think it's on the back of it maybe, but it's that shot, but it's a drawing. And it looks really, really cool. I will post a picture of that on the
And then Annie calls and like is chewing over the phone.
Who does that?
She doesn't answer. She just is like...
Like, for whatever reason, it sounded... That specific sound of chewing made me think they were eating buffalo wings. I don't know why.
She was. Annie's eating buffalo wings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Annie. Yeah. Famous.
Annie's just like chowing down.
She's eating when she calls, and then she's making food when she's over at Lindsay's too.
She's watching an episode of Hot Ones, specifically the Trick Daddy episode. Oh yeah, then we go to the graveyard scene, which this is my favorite character of the movie.
Dude.
Are the graveyard keeper. So his voice his voice is so like distinctive, and I was like, I know him from something else, and I looked him up. He's from have you guys ever seen the Dark Cauldron or the Black Cauldron?
Not forever.
Long time ago.
But he plays like the king of the fairies in the Black Cauldron.
Awesome.
If I could recast one person, one character...
It would be the graveyard keeper.
It would be the graveyard keeper, and I would recast him with Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah.
Oh, he would be good.
Yeah.
Well, Harry Dean Stanton played that character in Twin Peaks.
Okay, then.
That's basically his character in Twin Peaks. Which, by the way,
Except he's a trailer park
guy. He's a trailer park guy. Basically the same character,
He owns the trailer park. Basically a graveyard.
Fat Trout Trailer Park. But... I was watching an interview with John Carpenter today, and the guy kept comparing Halloween to Twin Peaks and talking about how Twin Peaks stole from Halloween, especially with like the high school stuff. And I was like, I can kind of see it. I can only imagine if David Lynch made Halloween, it would not be successful.
No? You know? That's got at least 3 more reboots in it.
Yeah.
It'd be a weird-ass movie. But yeah, his the graveyard, but he has the tight... He's got the tight denim jeans, tight denim jacket, which I think was like 2 sizes too small. The biggest gut in the world. Maybe it was
supposed to be somebody else that was playing the part.
Did they buy their own costumes?
Yeah. He just shows up and said, "Oh, okay."
But yeah, his line whenever he steals the grave, steal the tomb's like, "Goddamn kids!" Oh my goodness!
The Judith Myers tombstone's missing.
We need to do like a sidequel, a midquel. What are they called?
Midquel.
And it's just him. What he's doing Halloween night.
What's the graveyard keeper up to?
Yeah.
He's the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of the Halloween franchise.
Lion King 1.5.
Yeah.
We reference this on another podcast.
Yeah, I will reference that all the time.
By the way, listen to Riverside Falls on
Arcade Audio.
On Arcade Audio. Yeah, he came home. That's the famous line.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he says it in the scene. And then Annie picks her up. And she has pot. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, they're smoking a doober.
That's how you know that even though Lori's a loser and she's too smart for boys, that she's still cool because she smokes pot. She tells Annie, she tells Annie, I'm too smart. Guys think I'm too smart. And she's like, why don't I think you're wacko?
Which that part, they bring it up in the movie, but like whenever they roll up on the hardware store and Sheriff Brackett is talking to them.
Yeah, that's the part where they meet them. Like, and then you find out that the mask got stolen.
Yeah, like he had to have smelled it.
So,
well, that's what Lori says. Lori's like, I think he smelled it. And Annie's like, I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
And she gives her dad a hard time too.
My dad's the sheriff. He's not going to get us in trouble. I don't.
She gives him a hard time.
I don't. He's give he's fuck.
Trying to yell over the alarm, and she's like, "I can't hear you." And then he starts yelling, and she's like, "Don't yell at me."
And then the alarm goes off.
Yeah. In that scene, all at once, we find out that that's her dad, and that's where the mascot got, and then Michael Myers starts following them in the car.
He starts following them.
And that's where we meet Loomis. And the car goes right behind Loomis in that one shot.
Such a good moment.
And Loomis tells the detective, Brackett, he's like, I just need to talk to you for a few moments. And then he spends the rest of the night with him.
Oh, man. Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult's playing in that scene.
Don't Fear the Reaper. Like,
okay.
Damn.
So that's where it is. And
Well
then
done.
And then Darkness Falls as the car Cars Drive.
Yeah.
That choice of song could have been incredibly on the nose, but it works. Because also, for whatever reason, I just didn't expect there to be
Music.
like licensed music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's only really that one song.
It is.
Yeah.
But even then, like, you're so far into the movie that, like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, well, if there hasn't been any yet,
Yeah.
like, you just don't expect it for the rest, and it's like, oh shit, that's a toe tapper.
That's like in The Exorcist, they have a Doobie Brothers song. They have Rambo Man. No, it's Allman Brothers. They have Rambo Man playing
really?
in a bar, and it's like it's cut to a bar scene with one of the priests and just Rambo Man, but the Allman Brothers is playing in the background.
I love that.
What?
That's also in the car they bring up. That's the first time we hear about Ben Tramer, which is the guy that Lori has a crush on.
Wait till we get to Halloween 2, everybody. I cannot wait to talk about Ben Tramer in great detail.
I have some things to say. I have a few things.
They sell the Ben Tramer mask on Trick or Treat Studios, and I've been thinking about buying.
Oh,
that
because
mask.
it's slightly different looking than
Yeah, because
Michael's.
it's the Michael Myers mask, but with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so cool. And then we go to Brackett and Loomis are at the Myers house, in which we find out Michael Myers ate a dog.
A dog or a skunk.
Or a skunk.
They don't. I couldn't tell if it was a dog.
That's how ham he went on that animal.
They would have known it was a skunk though, because you smell like if you hit a skunk on the
Yeah.
side of the road, it gives off an odor.
Yeah.
Also, it would have been a small dog, I guess, if it.
I mean, at that point, just say it's a dog or a raccoon or something. Yeah. Like, that's such a distinct, like, difference.
Emphasis on stinct.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Or
but in the
even if it was
podcast
like,
now.
Pull a Pepe Le Pew and say, well, it was a skunk or a cat.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go.
Little Looney Tunes. If Joe Dante directed this movie, that would have happened.
Yo, all right, look. I would love a Joe Dante version of, like, any movie.
Let's watch Inner Space next. Let's see. Okay, this is where I have it written down. So Loomis talks about how he met Michael when he was 6 years old.
Yes.
Tried to help him for 8 years. And he tried to keep him locked up for 7. That total was 21.
He would be 21 years old.
Yeah. But in the
How old did they say he
in the
is?
credits it says he's 23.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how old the actor was.
Well, how many? It's what, 15 years between.
68 and 63 and 78.
Yeah, it's 15 years. So 6 plus 15 is 21.
Well, you know,
I
Loomis
wonder
has
if-
other things on his mind. I don't know.
I wonder if the kid actor was like 9 years old and that they did the math like that.
Well, it says in the credits it says Michael Myers age 6 and then Michael Myers age 23.
It sounds like whoever just did the credits like fucked up.
We need to talk to Pacific titles.
They didn't credit the dog either.
Lester?
Yeah, they didn't credit Lester. They didn't tell us who played him.
All right, let's get it.
I feel gypped.
And so now we're at the Doyle and Wallace houses where they're babysitting
Lindsay and
Tommy.
Lindsay, I thought, because the actress's name is Kyle Richards, so I was like, I wonder if she's related to Keith Richards at all, but she's not. But apparently she's on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I've never seen, but...
Her niece is Paris Hilton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was strange. I did that research. That's a bit of research I did.
I just went down the Real Housewives wormhole.
Because I found out she was on Real Housewives.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I was like, well, what? Let's see. Yeah, he strangles Lester.
Yeah, that's how we know he's bad. If you didn't know before, we watch him kill a dog, so that's how we know he's bad for sure. And and then Annie's like, he's like barking, and like Annie apparently when she babysits, she just yells at Lindsay for her to do stuff for her because she's like, she spills the food on her shirt and she's like, Lindsay, get me a robe. And then she hears the dog. She's like, Lindsay, the dog's barking again. The dog dies, and she's like, oh, never mind. Guess he got a hot date. And
Don't have to think about that. Now let me just get naked in this kitchen.
Yeah.
Because I spilled a bit of butter on my shirt.
God,
yeah, she has to take off her whole outfit
Yeah.
it's so ridiculous.
instead of just letting the stain sit.
So watching The Thing on the TV.
Yes.
Which
that's
John
a
Carpenter
huge-
did. This was before he did the remake,
It's like
right?
career foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Is what that
Yeah.
The Thing came out in 82. And then let's just skip straight to Annie's death.
Okay. Wait, I do want to say something right before she died. I usually pay attention to like if movies pass the Bechdel test or not, but I wasn't paying attention for this one. But I looked it up. Apparently, the only time it passes the Bechdel test is when Annie gets stuck in the window and Lindsay comes in and is like, "You left the door locked," and she's like, "I know. Help me get out of this." So that's when it passes the Bechdel test.
Wow.
Pretty much. Well, because the whole
time the girls are just talking about boyfriends. Yeah.
Which is why they're so preoccupied and vulnerable to get murdered.
Research.
Whenever she gets stuck in the window, it makes me think of when the girl gets stuck in the garage door in Scream.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also just such a slapsticky moment.
Yeah.
Of just like
She got her foot caught in a towel rack.
Yeah.
No, it was like a shelf, like a metal shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Paul calls and she has to go pick up Paul. So she drops Lindsay off over with Lori and Tommy. And then she goes to get her car and she's making up a song.
Which that part was really creepy because like she is unlocked.
She also leaves the house in just a shirt and a blanket.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Well, she's just gonna go and pick them up and
Yeah, she just runs
pop
across
in.
the street.
I mean, I do this. Sometimes I drive to McDonald's in house slippers.
And that's it.
But she like opens the door, it's locked. It's like, oh, keys.
No keys but my paw.
Goes and gets the keys, comes back, door's unlocked.
Yeah.
Who did it?
Who did it?
Who done it?
It's Michael Myers. That's who.
Well, I think he was already in the car. He must have already been in the car when the door was locked. And then he unlocked it when she came back.
Or maybe he had a coat hanger. And just unlocked it that way.
He's real handy
He
around
doesn't.
cars.
He doesn't have good lucks with coat hangers though.
We've established that Michael Myers is the best when it comes to cars.
There's another universe where Michael Myers kills the mechanic.
There's so many different universes.
And then assumes his life as a mechanic.
He was like, you know what? I'm giving up on murder and I'm going to be a mechanic.
I just wanted to get out of the psych ward. And I just wanted to work on a block.
I was watching some Hal Needham films, and I just really wanted to start working on cars.
Okay, so that entire sequence where like she has to take her clothes off and do the laundry and shit like that was like crazy. Again, just masterful suspense building because there was about 5 different times where it's like, I don't really remember this part incredibly well. Mm-hmm. At what point? And it's like, oh, it's now, right? No, it's now, right? No, it's now, right?
And Michael's staring at her through like 18 different windows.
Exactly. But then when he does finally like jump up out of the back seat, legit jump scare for me. Like I jumped a little bit on the couch and I was not expecting to get got like that. Rewatching this for the umpteenth time, and it's just a testament to how effective the movie still is.
Yeah. There's such a good build up into the.
There's also
this is another movie where there's a long build up and then most of the killings happen like in a row.
Oh yeah,
and even then though, like the score does like so much legwork for the first like 2/3 of this movie. Like the dialogue, we talked about it before. The dialogue is not good. Like it's not very good.
I think
it's not very
pretty
natural.
good.
Stop talking shit, okay? Deborah Hill wrote this.
I think it's still
understand
pretty
that,
good.
but
I
that
think
said,
the dialogue's good.
I feel like my take from this movie was dialogue was kind of rough, but like the score,
it's really good.
Does so much of the legwork for the score is better dialogue than the dialogue. Mm-hmm. The score, like you always remember the da 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 da, but you forget about like all the other all the other different like themes throughout this.
Let's talk about the score real quick since we're on the subject. So John Carpenter, he did everything in 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And the theme he got from playing bongos.
Right.
So he adapted bongos to the piano. That's how he got the theme.
I love that.
And apparently he wrote
crazy.
it in an hour.
I wish. That's
Just like when
insane.
Stevie Nicks wrote Rhiannon in 4 minutes.
4 minutes for real?
Yeah. That's like, and the song is like, sometimes in the concert the song's like 8 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long is the song itself?
He just plays it twice.
I mean, it is a very repetitive song.
Yeah. But yeah, Annie's death was, it was like watching it on the movie is cooler because they recreated it for the Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. Mm. Like they had like an actress
scary.
like getting like strangled
window,
in a car, like in a garage
Yeah.
on the maze, and it was so like just seeing it in person than seeing it in the movie was like really cool.
Yeah.
I think
Makes it
it's
even creepier.
somewhere around here. When's like the next time we go to the Myers household with Loomis? And,
It's next.
It's next.
Yeah.
Except for that. And that's when, like, he's like, Lonnie, get your ass away from that.
Which is a
Lonnie, get your ass away
very
from me.
funny moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's having a good time, and then all of a sudden Brackett comes out of nowhere and scares the shit out of Loomis. So Loomis scares
Like,
Lonnie, and
yeah.
then Loomis gets scared.
But also, like, you're the one dude that's not supposed to get scared in this situation.
You're over here pulling pranks on kids.
Okay. Stop everything right now.
Okay.
Because this is where...
Stop recording?
No. You keep recording, you keep listening. Loomis has a Mayor Vaughn July 4th weekend size fuck up right here.
Wait, I think this is later on because I was
Is it
thinking about
later
this too. Yeah, there's a
Is
few,
it when-
there's
when-
few more killings happen before this.
When the
but,
sheriff is like, hey, yeah, let's get every cop in the city.
Oh no, I'm thinking about something else.
Okay. Because, like, yeah.
You're
Sheriff,
right.
what, Brackett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, let's just get all the deputies out, like, on every corner. Like, let's just have everyone on full alert. And
Loomis is like, we don't want him to know that we're looking for
Loomis
him.
is like, nah, dog.
He's like, no, they're gonna think they're gonna see him everywhere they turn.
Good.
Oh yeah,
But this is backed up by Halloween 2, because in
that's
Halloween
true.
2,
The cops are so incompetent.
they're searching for him in
Yeah.
Halloween 2, and that's how Ben Tramer, spoiler alert, gets hit by a car and bursts into flames.
Okay, you know what? He deserved it. But also, like, you know what you're looking for.
Halloween 2 proves that Loomis was right in this situation. is
Not
what
in
I'm
this
saying.
particular situation, though.
I don't know, Ben Tramer could have been killed a lot earlier. That's what I'm saying.
What was Ben Tramer wearing?
He's dressed like Michael Myers.
Okay. This is before anyone was dressed like Michael Myers. You know what he's wearing? Hey, he's wearing a jumpsuit from the mechanics. He's wearing what were the masks that got stole? He's wearing one of those.
By the way, did they have multiple of those masks and Michael just stole them all so nobody else could dress like him?
They said that.
Except for Ben
Multiple-
Tramer, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I'm so confused. Is like, what was Ben Tramer going to Halloween as? That we should save that for episode 2. But like,
I'm just saying, full court press that motherfucker, and maybe like all those kids don't die.
We'll put it under review.
I'm just saying. That's some 4th of July Amityville or Amity Island shit right there.
Different, mixing up your films. So next we got Linda and Bob pulling up in Bob's van, which
yeah. And then Bob makes a very problematic joke about like tearing Lindsay's clothes off. Every time I hear it, I'm like, no, that's not cute.
I missed that.
It's like when they're in the car, she's like, okay, we're going to go in. I'm going to tear my clothes off. You're going to tear your clothes off. And he's like, then I'm going to tear Lindsay's clothes off.
What the fuck was that about?
I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, Bob, you're not cute. Like, that's creepy.
That's a very unfunny joke.
Yeah.
Listen, it was the 70s. It was a horrible time. Yeah. Well,
Wait, cut to from the car. You cut to like the Halloween parade that Lori's holding in the other house. They've like carved the pumpkin. And they're coming out of the kitchen, and Tommy's like, wow, and they're like, ooh, ooh. It's like such a weird cut. It's so funny.
yeah, that the whole Bob taking Linda out of the van and taking her inside the house, which
Yeah.
was like later recreated with Michael. He leaves the van door wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Van door
Michael
open.
carries her in before. Michael carries Annie in before.
Oh, was it before that?
They
Yeah,
get there.
yeah,
Because
okay.
Tommy tries to scare Lindsay, and Tommy sees him
That's
doing it.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Timeline's all mixed up. I watched this movie last night and still.
I watched it this morning. That's
All
why I
the
remember it
doors.
so well.
In this entire town are open.
Yeah, but it's a very like trusting neighborhood.
Well, right. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like it was a safer time, quote unquote, safer time, and you could just leave your doors unlocked and yada yada yada. I understand that. But also, just because the door's unlocked doesn't mean like even if you're friends, you just walk in.
Yeah.
Like they walk in, they call out for, "Hey, is anyone home?"
Annie,
No,
yeah.
we're just gonna dry hump on the couch for a few minutes.
They didn't even turn the lights on or check if Annie's there.
No.
Yeah,
No,
they call
hey,
out.
yeah.
I think, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's it.
They do a little investigating.
Yeah.
Well, and she calls Lori and asks where Annie is too. Yeah.
Can we talk about Bob's death now?
Well,
Yeah.
so they go upstairs.
I want
real
to talk
quick,
about when they have sex.
and there's just a lit jack-o'-lantern in a bedroom.
Oh yeah.
It's for ambiance.
But it was there when they got in.
I bet they were like, baby, let's get some candles.
It was there when they walked in, though. And he's just,
I want to talk
we just have a
about.
lit jack-o'-lantern in our guest room.
You never know.
I want to talk about when
It's a
they
fire hazard.
when they have sex, and then like. Linda's like a modern woman. She's like,
Go
you're
get me
gonna
a
go
beer."
get me a beer. And then she's like sitting and smoking. I love that part.
Smoking in a stranger's bed.
With it lit jack-o'-lantern right next
Well,
to it.
they know who it is. It's her Lindsay's parents' house.
Okay, then even like we're just gonna just smoke in your parents' bed after we bone in it. It's
So yeah, that's a weird situation.
I'd feel
They're bad.
they're bad. They're all bad people.
They deserve to die.
No, they don't
Go
deserve
get
to die.
me some beer from their fridge.
I love how sexually liberated the women are in this movie. I'm for it.
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah, this death is pretty iconic.
Yo,
Bob's
yeah.
death.
Bob gets shish kebabbed, which I think is hilarious.
Into the door and his
Yeah.
body's like hanging there.
That's a very
That was
cool death.
Supposedly supposed to be Dennis Quaid.
Oh,
Really?
he's playing Bob.
Yeah, because
I've
Bob
seen him
and
on
Linda?
set. There's like pictures of him on set.
Oh,
They were dating at the time.
PJ Souls? No, yeah, PJ Souls and Dennis Quaid were dating at the time.
At the time.
Oh, wow.
That's right, because there's
She did a lot of like movies around that time. She
Yeah,
was
'cause
like in
there's-
Rock and Roll High School. And
there's pictures. By the way, listen to Matt Groe's podcast. I was there too. He interviews PJ Souls about Halloween mostly, Carrie, Rock and Roll High School, and Stripes. But yeah, there are on-set pictures of Dennis Quaid on the Carrie set, and I think on this set
and
as
on
well.
this set too, yeah.
Yeah, we'll put those on
On
the
the IMDb. And then apparently the scene where Michael wears the sheet and is the ghost was like one of the first scares that they wrote. Like that's Deborah Hill said that was one of their first ideas for a scare.
That was very funny.
It shows he has a playful side.
He does. He's like a cat toying
Michael
with its
is
prey.
very like, this is jumping ahead a little bit, but Michael's like very theatrical. Like when Lori comes into the house, he like sets it up. So
Oh, he does
that
like a booby trap. It's like
Yeah.
a
he
freaking
sets
Rube
it up
Goldberg
so like
machine.
she sees the thing. Then his body comes down for some like a door opens.
Yeah.
Like how does that door open?
Michael
And then
Myers
he,
she's-
had some fishing line.
Yeah.
He was like, off to the side.
Michael Myers invented that dollar bill trick with the like fishing wire and like the like coil.
Yeah, I feel like
He invented Mousetrap.
I feel like Michael Myers would have done the what's that meme going around with the blanket and the dog.
Oh, for sure. He would have.
But then he chokes the dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would have done the dog fake out, and then it would have been horrible afterwards. So it's a good thing he didn't do that. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, like that is the one thing that I don't really recall. I don't want to say it's charming. But it is.
But like Michael, he's pretty cute.
It's pretty charismatic for a killer to do that. Like that's the one thing I feel like doesn't really carry over to the other movies.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
those
remember.
weird flex of personality that
Well,
he
I
would
think it's
do
like
things
his
that.
childhood mentality
Yeah,
because
I
he's
think that's
kind
what
of
it is,
like
too.
yeah.
But
I
in
think
the
he's
rest of the
kind
movies, though, he's just a robotic, moving forward ahead, come what may, like indestructible
yeah,
machine.
Yeah. I don't think they used it in other movies, but
What was I going to say? And then of course Linda gets strangled by the phone cord.
Yep.
over and Lori hears it over the phone.
Which this movie has so many good callbacks.
Yeah. It does.
It's weird, like,
Did an
she's
improviser write this?
This movie was written on the Herald structure.
Okay, this is where I want us to talk about
Talk about
my Dr. Loomis problem. Is that they cut back to the house. This is when Dr. Loomis realizes that Michael is probably not going to come back to the house because he sees the car that's been there all fucking day. Like he's been standing by this house like an hour, maybe 2 hours. How did he not search the perimeter and see the fucking hospital car?
Well, the way they made
look
it,
across the street.
Yeah.
they made it seem like it was so far away, Dire Straits, because he was because he runs to it.
Yeah.
So he was just like, what's that brown in the distance? Oh, that's my car. Yep, smash window, that's my car.
Doc Loomis, a lot of blind spots. More blind spots than that station.
Well, that's why he wasn't driving.
Maybe at the end, maybe his eyesight is just really terrible, and that's why at the end he never really shoots Michael. He just he misses him every fucking time.
The movie should have opened with Doc Loomis at
Getting
the
an
gun
eye
range,
test.
like practicing,
Missing
and then it
every
ends
time.
with a shot of him getting the target rolled up at him, and it's just like there's nothing on it.
Oh, man.
I was like, how did he not see that car all fucking night?
He just needs to get an eye exam. He should do that in Halloween 2 at the hospital. He should have got an eye exam. Something I really love, whenever Laurie goes across the street to investigate, she has kind of like a cowboy walk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with her hands in her pockets.
And she's kind of like moseying on over there. Yeah, I feel
Do
like...
you think that Michael would have still attacked her if she didn't come across the street and go into the house? Well, I guess he set it up for her to discover the bodies and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why he did the whole Rube Goldberg mousetrap thing.
He was like, ugh, someone's going to see it.
He has a knack for the theatrics.
Yeah.
He does. He's dramatic.
Everybody's entitled to one good scare. Let's see, yeah, the whole like walking across the street, because like John Carpenter is heavily influenced by Western, so that was like, he's like, I'm having my Western moment, which is very, very cool, I think. And then she goes in the house, does not turn on the light.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm like, that was. But other than that, I feel like every move that she makes is a smart move. Like, there's not another part of the movie where I'm like, why did she do that? Like, when you're usually in horror movies, you're like, that was dumb, don't do that.
Yeah, like, I don't know if this is just having been conditioned from watching horror movies for my entire life, but I will always, if I'm walking into a pitch black place, turn the light on. Yeah. Do you ever just have that weird feeling of just like, shit, there's Michael Myers after me right now?
There's a Michael Myers.
Yeah. Where you just turn on every damn light in the house or apartment or anything like that.
Because you get that feeling sometimes.
You just get that feeling.
Yeah.
But maybe that's part of the theme of the movie, like, people just feel safe. They don't feel the need to do it.
Yeah. That's why Michael Myers is so creepy, because like he blends in.
Yeah.
And like because you know.
And she's the only one that's ever feels threatened by him. Everybody else doesn't see him.
Because she's not preoccupied with boys.
She's too smart for guys.
And the ones that she likes just get hit by a car and burst into flames.
She didn't even really like him. She was going to call it off the next day.
Well, I think she like didn't want to, because Annie was trying to set them up, but I think that's like awkward. You don't want your friend to be like, they think you're cute.
I also think she was just throwing a name out there just to shut her friend up.
Just to shut Annie up. And he's like, oh, I knew you liked boys and you're not weird.
So then we get to, she like discovers the Annie on the bed with Judith's tombstone, which they recreated that for the maze.
Oh, of course they did.
And I will post that on Instagram.
Absolutely.
It's so cool. The way they did it in the maze was like.
Where was he keeping the tombstone?
There was a garage. You might have had it in the garage.
He might have had it in the garage. Yeah, that's true.
That also thing with the whole like otherworldly entity shape thing was like how strong he is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
The way he just for the Bob kill, he lifts up Bob, stabs him.
Yeah.
So the way this goes is, I'm just imagining he's just pumping iron and watching Smokey the Bandit in that. That's all he's doing. The entire time he's at Smith's
smoking cigarettes for the asthma.
Yeah, let's see. My next note. Yeah, I like to see how Michael rigged up all this stuff. We talked about that. the part where she runs out of the house yelling at everybody, "Help me, please!"
Yeah.
And those asshole neighbors.
They see her because you see their shadow.
You can see them up in the light in the window. Yeah.
And then they turn their lights off, pretending they're not home.
What a bunch of dipshits.
I know, but I think they must have thought that it was a prank.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I think it's like either a prank or just that suburban like. I don't want to get involved type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they must have thought it was a prank.
Let's see. And then Michael runs across the street.
No, he walks.
Excuse me, walks across the street.
I'm sorry.
Laurie runs across the street, I meant to say.
She makes that smart move where she throws the flower pot up at the window to wake up Tommy.
A lot of potted plants getting smashed in this movie.
My problem with this is maybe lead him away from the children.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's just trying to get in because she thinks she can lock the door and he won't come in.
Well, at a certain point, like, you got to bail on that plan.
Yeah.
He's like getting into the front yard and Tommy still hasn't opened the door yet.
She goes into the house. She instantly tells Tommy, go upstairs, lock the door, don't come out. Mm-hmm. Like, she's not trying to. And then later on when so then he comes in because there was a window open. And then thank God she loves knitting because she had those knitting needles.
Yeah.
She thinks she's killed him. And then when he comes back, because the boogeyman doesn't die, she instantly tells the kids to lock themselves in the door, and then she runs the other way to lead him away from the kids.
After he's in the house with that has the children in it, like, go try a few more doors.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but also like if you're the babysitter, you're in charge of the kids, so like I don't know.
I understand, heat of the moment, tough call. But
listen, she's 17 years old. Okay?
Yeah, I know. Easy for me to play, armchair babysitter.
Yeah. But that's a new segment of the show, Armchair Babysitter. We're going to go with Rich Camillucci live.
All right, first of all, they wait way too long to start carving the jack-o'-lantern. And then you're going to read them comic books to try to, like, instead of King Arthur? Come on. He can read comic books himself.
Oh, man. Yeah, and the whole stabbing in the neck thing, that shot's really cool.
Yeah.
And then going upstairs, and he's still coming.
Yeah.
And she locks herself up in the closet, and
the use of shadows in this is so...
Oh, we didn't even talk about when she was in the house, and she sees all the dead bodies, and she's leaned up against the...
Right, yes.
Oh, and he comes out of the shadow.
The most
iconic.
You can barely see his face. Yeah. Barely see it.
Well, they used a dimmer.
Yes.
Yeah. They used a dimmer to slowly light up his face.
I rewound that.
Rich is touching himself right now.
I am so horny for that shot. I rewound that like 5 times.
It's such a good shot.
It's so fucking good.
It's iconic.
That shot, and after she's in the closet, he breaks in and she stabs him in the eye with the hanger.
Good aim.
So good too.
And then stabs him.
She's just so quick, like, to think of stuff. Yeah. Like, she thinks of the...
She's just resourceful. Very resourceful.
She thinks of the knitting needle, and then she instantly grabs one of the things and starts taking it apart to stab him in the eye.
Which, when she gets stabbed in the eye, I found this out in the new Halloween movie. He has a scar there.
Yeah.
He has like a...
Well, he has a scar when they unmask him in the first movie.
Yeah, but in the new one movie, he has like a white eye where he can't see out of it.
Hell yeah.
That's so cool.
The new one coming out.
Yeah, and Trick or Treat Studios is selling that appliance.
Okay.
I'm getting paid I'm getting paid by Trick or Treat Studios.
You need to.
Dude, I was on their website watching all their blog stuff, and I'm friggin' pumped. I'm gonna buy one of the masks. I've been thinking about going as the Pumpkinhead kid from Halloween 3.
Oh.
For Halloween.
That's another iconic shot too. After that,
he gets stabbed in Rising Up.
Yeah, and he rising up.
I mean, it inspired The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have 25 plus years of the dead man, if not. So, okay, that inspired The Undertaker, and when Michael Myers kills Bob, and he does that, like, cocked head look, which is also, like, crazy iconic.
Yeah.
Like, Undertaker's brother Kane would do the same thing in his early Demon King days.
By the way, Trick or Treat Studios sell Kane masks. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Promo code Haddonfield.
Before he rises up, she like tells the kids to leave, and the kids calmly walk down the stairs, and then they open the door and start screaming and running across the street.
And then Loomis is like, I guess he's in here.
Oh, unrelated.
That's odd. He's just squinting. He's like, are those children?
Are those children? Because you can't fucking see.
I can't tell if they're children or skunks.
Yeah, then he runs in and finally, the unmasking thing.
Yeah.
Which, watching this movie as a kid, I never knew they unmasked him, and then watching it again as an adult.
I wonder if they have it in the TV version or not, because I don't remember it either.
Yeah, and then like
I watched it
for the TV version, they had to like add stuff. Like they had to shoot additional stuff for it to fill like an actual 2-hour block.
Yeah.
But I remember watching like noticing that he unmasked him, like paying attention for the first time and just freaking out. I'm like, wow, we actually get to see his
face.
And then in A Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, turns out his face is just green goo.
I
cannot
haven't
wait.
watched it. Don't spoil it for
I
me.
haven't seen that movie in years.
It's a very memorable thing.
Also, there's a weird exchange of dialogue after Loomis shoots Michael with like all the bullets in his gun.
Shoots him 6 times.
Yeah.
He famously yells that in the second movie. I shot him 6 times.
Although, did he have 6
50 Cent
bullets?
was shot 9 times. So.
Because does he shoot the gun earlier in the Myers house when he gets scared by the window?
No.
Or he just pulls it out?
Yeah.
He just pulls it out.
Okay, so he shoots
and
him
then
6
he tells
times.
Brackett that he does have a permit.
He pulls it out. It's written on the same piece of paper that your social security card's on. Very, very flimsy.
There's like a weird exchange of dialogue where Lori says, "What?" She says something about the
boogeyman is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says something. Is the boogeyman something?
She's like, the boogeyman is real, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because she spends the whole movie denying that the boogeyman is real.
And then he's like, "As a matter of fact, it was." He would like, it doesn't make sense.
Or like,
And then he goes, "You bet your ass it's real."
and then he lights up a cigar.
He says, "Get your ass away from there."
Also, it's weird. Like, it's real quick and you miss it. But like when Loomis is shooting Michael Myers, he says, "Smile, you son of a bitch."
Oh, I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, because he puts a tank. He puts an
Yeah,
arm
wait,
in it.
Michael Myers is a tank.
You're making this up. I like fell for it for a minute.
And when he pulls out his gun, he yells, "Say hello to my little friend."
It's a skunk.
And then when Lori's at the top of the stairs, she's like, "Hey, come up and see me sometime."
Put your lips together and blow.
And when she's in the second movie, when she's being brought down the stairs, she says, "I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille."
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, Michael Myers' famous last words after he dies on the ground is "Rosebud."
So stupid. So I just wrote down that Loomis look whenever he's looking around when Michael's gone. Now, John Carpenter gave him a direction. It was like, act like he's not there, but also give a reaction as if he's still there.
Because they hadn't decided if they were going to do.
Yeah,
one or the
and
other.
like, and he's like, then I'll find it in the edit. And then John Carpenter's like, it's pretty obvious which one we used.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's
Okay, John.
yeah. Thanks, you coy boy.
Thanks, JC.
Yeah, it is weird how like we see the shot of Michael Myers all laying on the ground, but no one else does in the movie.
Well, Loomis does.
No, we.
Yeah, Loomis looks out the window and sees him.
yeah.
No. Loomis looks out the window, and the shot we see that he sees is he's gone.
I think he looks both times.
I specifically like made sure to check.
I'm siding with Rich on this one because I watched
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
I watched it this morning, but okay.
Oh, then shit, you might have me.
Listen, I know editing in movies. That's my big thing right now.
I thought he shot him, saw him on the ground, then turned around and talked to Lori.
Because that's what I had always thought, because
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember watching it the other day and just being like, wow, he just didn't.
He didn't check.
Yeah.
After he says his line, he goes to the window and he's
Yeah.
gone. And then
Yeah.
he does that Loomis look. And
Yeah.
then it cuts to heavy breathing on the soundtrack.
Yeah, heavy breathing, and then it shows the different spots from the movie.
Yeah. That's the end of the
And then
movie.
that's in the movie. Wow,
I have some final thoughts in this movie that I wrote down.
great.
I love that the Halloween was made by John Carpenter and his friends. You got Tommy Lee Wallace editing and being the production designer. You got Nick Castle as the Shape. Both guys, they all went to USC Film School with Carpenter. And then Wallace, married Nancy Loomis, who plays Annie. And I went on to direct Halloween 3. Nick Castle directed The Last Starfighter and The Major Payne.
Oh god, there was another one that he directed as well that I'm like, fuck yeah, fuck, I gotta look this up.
The Last Starfighter is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie so much. We're just going to have a podcast in which we talk about The Last Starfighter. Oh yeah, Tommy Lee Wallace created The Mask. By, of course, famously,
Yeah,
William
he made
Shatner.
like 2 different options.
Dennis the Menace. He fucking directed Dennis the Menace too.
He did.
Nick Castle, hell yeah.
With Walter Matthau. Nick Castle, oh my goodness. And he's back as the Shape.
Yeah.
Let's see.
For
Oh
the
yeah.
first time.
I'm-
That was the only time he played it. Was the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this may come up in later podcasts, but for this upcoming Halloween movie, is Michael Myers supposed to be age appropriate?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be like a mid to upper 60s Michael Myers?
Yeah.
He's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 21. So he's gonna be like 61 years old, or 63.
Or 63.
What's some of the things I wrote? Oh yeah, I'm gonna post this too. But I saw John Carpenter in concert.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
So that was a really cool experience. We're running. We're an hour and a half right now, so I don't know if I can keep going.
We're about as long as the movie.
Yeah. If you're listening to this at 2 a.m., you're hearing the birds chirping outside.
So I want to borrow from Married with Movies real quick. Who, performance-wise, who were the MVPs and who were the LVPs of this movie?
Oh, MVP for sure, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think Nancy Loomis, too. I think she's great.
Yeah. Or Nancy Keys, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, Nancy Keys.
LVP.
What's it?
Who's the
LVP?
least valuable player of this movie?
Oh, no, excuse me. MVP for me is the Graveyard Keeper. Goddamn kids. Yeah. No holds barred.
I think
Starring Hulk
He was in
Hogan.
No Holds Barred?
I think most of the actors in this movie are pretty good. Like there wasn't.
I'm gonna go with Tommy.
For
The
LVP?
child actors, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's cute, but like, yeah.
I mean, he's got that dope astronaut outfit, but other than that, his acting's not up to snuff.
But even that's like, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say maybe child Michael Myers, not that great.
Oh yeah,
The two actors who played Judith Myers and the boyfriend, they're not amazing.
you know what? I'm gonna go with Mom because she just gave a look
She phoned in her performance for sure.
like Michael. Michael, what's Michael Myers' middle name? I'm sure
Michael Malcolm Myers.
I'm sure that's canon somewhere. Like it's written that his middle name is like
So,
Christian or some shit.
There were like a short series of paperback.
Wait, I think
novels.
his middle name is Christian. Now that I think about it.
That would be very on the nose.
Let me Google it real quick.
So there were
It's
there
actually
were
Damien.
a small series of paperback novels
Sam
that
Payne.
well
Michael Sam
that
Payne
went into
Myers.
that stuff. These paperbacks would go into like
Oh, maybe Samuel or something.
it went into how he learned to drive, and it went into
Oh, it did?
like it filled in all these
What'd they
all these
say?
plot holes and gaps for the driving.
Yeah.
The theory in the book, like it didn't exactly like definitively say
Mm-hmm.
it, but the theory is that in those first 7 years or whatever it was, 8 years, that Loomis was trying to figure out what was wrong with him, and in the 8 years going back and forth to like parole hearings or whatever it was that they had to keep going back and forth to, he was watching Loomis drive and taking notes as to how to drive. Still doesn't really, cover everything, but
Also, he was so young when he murdered his sister. Like, I don't think that they put him immediately into maximum security,
yeah.
like
So-
mental institution. Like, I feel like they probably put him in like a young kids type of place where they were still learning. And
The other thing that was described about these novels is that they were rare, which this is just a general thing for me, but I don't understand how things are really like rare anymore, like pop culture items. Because like if one person has them and has access to the internet, it's not rare anymore. At least the content itself is not rare. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, unless they don't share it with people. I mean, there's plenty of books that they're probably not in print anymore.
Right. But even if there's 5,000 that
Yeah.
got printed, like one person owning that book and like just scanning the pages to the internet.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
have to do it first before it
Right.
becomes
Well,
not rare.
So, for example, the Star Wars Christmas special, that used to be super rare. Like,
Now it's on YouTube.
yeah, exactly. That kind of thing.
I have
With one simple step, it becomes unrare.
Yeah.
If you are holding on to these novels, we're begging you, please release the content.
And thank you for subscribing to the Patreon for Arcade Audio to listen to this podcast. And upon my Googling, I found out that Michael Myers' middle name is Audrey.
No.
Really?
That's what it says.
No. That's why I killed his sister.
Now I'm just desperate to tie this into Little Shop of Horrors.
I like that his initials is his name is Ma'am.
Ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am, get in over, ma'am. So yeah, but your whole theory about watching Loomis drive, no,
That's not my theory.
That's
in
from the books.
fuck those books. He watched Smokey and the Bandit.
That's what I want to believe.
How are we going to rate the movie?
I think we should do it on the pumpkin scale. So we're gonna do a rating system based on 1 out of 100 pumpkins.
Or I would like to also throw into contention a rating scale of how many miles it took Michael Myers to drive from Smith's Grove to Haddonfield.
It's a 103, right?
150 miles.
150.
Yeah. So a scale of 1 to 150 miles.
Or you can do it on the scale of skunks and or dogs. Is this movie a skunk or a dog?
I want to say out of...
Well, this movie is definitely a dog.
I think this movie is a dog.
I want to say out of respect to Lindsay's dearly departed dog that it's a dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want to rate it on pumpkins. I want to say out of 100, it's 100 pumpkins.
It's 100 pumpkins.
I mean, it's classic Halloween. It's my favorite movie in the series for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How many pumpkins would you rate it, Rich?
Best in the series, for sure. So is the pumpkin scale based on just Halloween movies or all movies?
Halloween movies.
Then
Halloween
100
movies.
pumpkins.
Yeah.
100 pumpkins.
But not just the Halloween movie franchise, but just Halloween movies in general.
Ooh, mama.
Hocus Pocus would also be 100 pumpkins.
If that's the case, then I would probably rate it 93 pumpkins.
93.
What?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Crazy.
Get off my podcast.
Ernest Scared Stupid being 97 pumpkins.
Oh my
Ernest Scared
Lord.
Stupid is the best Halloween movie,
I've
hands
never
down.
seen
Thank you.
That's the next podcast series we're going to do. We're going to do a deep dive through all the Ernest movies.
It's called Being Earnest.
Have you?
The importance of
I've
being
seen
earnest.
the Ernest
I made
Christmas
a fucking movie poster that is the movie poster for Important of Being
course you
Earnest.
did.
And
But
I
you replaced Ernest with
Yep.
Ernest.
Yep.
Replaced Ernest with Ernest.
The importance of watching Ernest.
All right, let's end this thing. So, next episode, do you have anything to promote, Rich?
Me, no.
Twitter and podcasts and whatnot?
If you're listening to this, you're probably already aware of everything that Arcade Audio has going on. If not,
Thank you so much for donating.
many thanks for being a regular patron to our Patreon. But if this is your first foray and you're just very interested in Halloween stuff, head on over to arcadeaudio.net. Check out all of our other shows, including Riverside Falls, Queer Movie Night, Podswoggle, Blank Slate, Married Movies, the entire gamut of shows. Our Father and Humanoid Resources are coming back very, very soon. Also, check out Podslam. Go to arcadeaudio.net/Podslam to check out all the information for our podcast marathon. It's the 4th year that we've been doing this. We're raising money for Connor's Cure. We have a goal of $4,000. And by the time you're hearing this, we should have already started announcing shows. And it's going to be a hell of a fucking lineup. It's going to be a live podcast marathon taking place in Chicago, Illinois at the IO Theater. But it's also going to be broadcast live audio as well as video this year, as well as we're going to be hopefully streaming on Twitch if it cooperates. And yeah, you can donate now. You could donate during the show. You could donate after the show. But any little bit helps to reach our $4,000 goal. And personally, you could find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rich Cammy. And I guess that's all I got.
All right, put your script away. Peyton, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Peyton Cody Lynch. If you're as handsome as Paul's voice sounds on the phone in this movie, send me your headshot and resume to queermovienight@gmail.com. And if you're interested in movies in general and are interested in hearing about queer movies, definitely check out Queer Movie Night on Arcade Audio.
It's a great podcast. And I, of course, am Nick Lathan on everything under the sun. I'm the main online presence for Nick Lathan. I represent all Nick Lathans on everything. And you can listen to Riverside Falls and its spinoff, Riverside Law. They're conveniently in the same stream. But I'm editing new Riverside Falls, and we're going to release that September 1st, I want to say. Mm-hmm. It's August now, right?
It is August.
September 1st, a new episode's coming out. I'm pretty excited about it. And, it's a monthly podcast, but Riverside Law is every other week, and it's very stupid. Jesus Christ, is dumb. So thank you for donating to the Patreon. And next week we'll be back with Halloween 2 with Sarah Jean Peters.
Yeah.
And I need to remind her to watch the movie.
Watch the movie, Norma Jean.
I know she's not listening to this. What's a podcast? All right. Is there something we should sign off with? What's a good quote to sign off with? Goddamn kids. Is that a good one?
Death.
Get your ass away from there.
And death has come to your town.
Oh, death has come to your town. Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
That was good.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.